And now that I've talked about all three of the Morgan Elsbeth episodes in Star Wars Tales of the Empire, let's actually talk about them as a group. I did a little bit when I was finishing my review of The Path of Hate because it does fit well, but there's other things to really touch on. First, I want to reiterate how in every episode she is given an opportunity in some form to reject the fear, the anger, and the hate, but she rejects the opportunities to reject them. Does that make sense? Because that's literally what happens. And it puts her on the path that we see her fall down in The Mandalorian and in Ahsoka. And it makes her a tragic character. She could have had a better life. She had many opportunities. She could have made a home with some mountain and found a new family of fellow Dathomirian witches, just not the Night Sisters. She could have on the planet's name is blanking, but on the planet that we see in her rule in the Mandalorian and in the last two episodes of Tales of the Empire for her, she could have decided to make them, her people, really integrate with the community rather than walling herself off in a little bit of a palace in a Zen garden. She could have made them her people, but she rejected them as her people. And okay, she gave them promises, and maybe in the beginning, maybe she was trying, but her anger at what happened to the Night Sisters prevented her from maybe finding some new people, just like her fear at everything that she just experienced when the Night Sisters were destroyed by the droid army prevented her from finding a new home with the Mountain Clan. Both times, her fear and her anger prevented her. Then comes now. There's no way her people will probably forgive for now, but one of them does try to encourage her, hey, maybe. But again, her hate, she just has nothing left to give, really. She just has all she has left is her fear, anger, and her hate. So she just can't accept to make amends for everything that all the wrongs that she's done, and that leads to her demise that we later see in Star Wars Ahsoka. But we got a bit to go there. But there's a few other things I would like to talk about. One, in Path of Anger and Path of Hate, we see her with the Beskar spear that then later gains from her in combat. Though actually, partially because of Din's actions, does help the people on the planet she's taken over. But that's not part of this story. But it's nice to see that she actually fights Rook at one point, which is a test by Thrawn. First you had Pelion asking her questions, and then Thrawn sends Rook to give her a physical test, and then he asks the same questions, and she actually answers. And she admits that it's her anger, really, at what happened to her clan, her Night Sister family. And of course, we do learn that. That's some great insight into her character. Of course, she also accepts Thrawn's favor, and that allows her to re-cement her role with the people who, because she wasn't able to deliver what she promised to them, and she doesn't see them as her people because, since she wasn't delivering her promises, they were getting mad at her and angry at her. See that parallel there? And Thrawn's resources allow her to cement her rule over the planet and the nearby planets and systems. So it's all connected in that way. Another thing I would like to mention is Pelion. According to the Thrawn books, it wasn't until after Thrawn became a Grand Admiral that he actually met Pelion for the first time. It was actually Thrawn Treason, I believe, if I remember correctly, or was it Thrawn Alliances? One of those two, where he first meets Pelion for the first time. But you know what? I don't mind a subtle retcon there. Perhaps it very much, he did meet Pelion while he was still an admiral, but he maybe briefly had Pelion under his command, but some Grand Moff ordered Pelion to join this fleet, and it was until he became a Grand Admiral reconnected. We can justify it however we want. Because it's minor. That's a minor thing. It's just nice seeing Pelion again when it comes down to it. And then, should I talk about the animation? Beautiful, gorgeous. I mean, I already did, I think, one or two of my, reaction videos where I talked about Grievous's animation, which just makes him really look intimidating and scary, and it's just amazing. But also, there's one scene too where there's a fire going on. I think it was in the first or second episode, but regardless, the fire animation looked so real. It was just amazingly detailed. Like you could not just see, the orange glow of the fire, but you could see the individual flames. you could see the chard on the wood, you could see the bark on the wood being burned away. Like, it was so good, and really the animations through all this, and I expect in the next 3 episodes to also be just amazing. And in all honesty, it's just great, amazing animation, and I can't say anything more about it because I would just keep on saying it's great and amazing, keep on pointing out more tiny details, like all the different Night Sister magic and just Decimating Witch magic that we see, all the different ways it's animated based off of the Night Sister and Mountain Clan, just that subtle little stuff. Morgan Elsbeth losing her Night Sister markings as the magic of the Night Sisters fade, though Marin does keep hers, but Marin also has a slightly different story going on, so that's a totally different story to talk about at a different time. But really, there's just so much amazing animation that just looks gorgeous. Even when it's not that of a gorgeous event, a tragic event, it still just looks amazing. They just did such a good job at animating. But it's going to be interesting to see now with the Bears Alfie episodes coming up, how will Morgan Elsbeth be providing a photo to Bears, and we'll be discussing that during the Bears episodes and at the end and as a whole when we get to that point in my reviews. But in the meantime, let me know your thoughts on the Morgan Elsbeth episodes of the Tales of the Empire and any expectations you have for the Bears episodes. Thank you for watching my video. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to give this video a like and share. Also, consider subscribing to my channel to stay up to date on all my latest content. In the meantime, thank you for watching, and as always, have a good day, a good night, wherever you are. May the force be with you, always.